Hey, Mike Phillips down here, Dr. Beasley's in sunny Stuart, Florida. This is a 1969 AMC AMX, fresh out of the paint booth. And this Saturday, I'm going to be doing a live broadcast showing you the process that I'm going to use to sand this thing, buff it out, and do the best I can to give it a perfect show car finish. And mostly just to remove the orange peel, but there's also a lot of dirt in paint. But I went ahead and tonight I'm going to actually stay after work and I'm going to knock out the roof. So I started sanding, and some of the paint on here is pretty flat. There's dirt specks in it. Let me show you a dirt speck. So see the dirt speck there? There's a dirt speck. So if you hear someone say DIP, dirt in paint, that's what that means. It's DIP, it has DIP. But to do this, I'm not really got a lot of confidence in the paint job. I think the painter's a great guy, did a good, laid the paint on there, but I don't know how much clear I got to work with. So I'm taking the safe approach. In fact, Jason Rose told me his favorite sandpaper is 2500 grit. I usually like 15 and 2, but I'm going to give this a try. This is the Eagle Abrasives by Kovacs K2500. And the owner's actually going to come down. He wants to learn how to do this, so I'm going to show him, and we're going to knock out the roof. We might start working down the cell panel to the emblems, where the emblems will go here. But anyway, so stay tuned, and whatever I get done tonight, I will make a follow-up video and post it all over the place. Cool car. That over there is by my Saturday, July 12th class. It's a barn find. And I got 2 other cars coming in besides that. So if you want to take a fun hands-on detailing class, get signed up for you can go to drbeasleys.com. But yeah, tonight it's go time, and you can see I've got a half a pallet there. I've got a Werner work platform down here, and that's just so so a person can stand on here and get a little height, so then they can take their arm and push down as they're standing. You need to have good ergonomics. Anyway, super cool car. I love it when people trust me to sand their toys like this. Stay tuned. So here you can see where we've hand sanded this panel behind the hood there, then up the A-pillar. Then of course we've sanded down by hand, wet sanded the entire roof, and actually started going down the cell panel on both sides. And again, the goal is to flatten down the orange peel, try to level out some of the DIP. Here you can see the Dutchman panel, so we've hand sanded that. I'm saving the trunk lid for a video tomorrow. And this is actually the first time James has ever done any hand or machine sanding. I think he did a really good job. Now we're going to switch over to machine sanding. For that, we're going to use the K3000 by Eagle Abrasives. And we're going to do that in 3-inch and 6-inch using the Flex cordless DA sanders. This is the Pixie with the 6mm drive unit in it. And there's a little technique you want to use when you're machine sanding with this. First of all, you never keep it in place for very long because it's sanding. It'll take some paint off. And you don't really use a smooth action. You kind of want to move it back and forth. That way you can kind of see where you've sanded, and as you go back from where you're looking, you'll see the progress you're making. Anyway, at some point you want to go ahead and stop sanding, see that whiteness. Anytime you sand a clear coat, it turns white because it's like a scratching glass. It's opaque, so it's whitish. You don't see the color of the paint itself. Then we'll wipe that off and inspect it. And then if you look right here, here's where I sanded. So you'll see these straight line sanding marks, and right here it's very uniform dull. So we've leveled the hand sanding marks and replaced them with machine sanding marks. And that'll make it faster and easier to buff out. Also keeps the paint cooler. And then just something else I'll share. Cool muscle cars like this, they got what's called a fresh air grill. And if you don't cover this up, you'll get compound splatter down there. And when you're wet sanding, you'll get slurry. So that's the watery paint mixture that's on the paint as you're sanding it. In fact, as I move the camera up, you'll see some white dots in the top of the channel where the windshield goes. Those white dots are white sanding slurry that are coming off the roof. You'll get that down on the fresh air grill and you'll never get it out. Okay, so we just refined our sanding marks using the 3000 grit, and this is a cordless Flex DA. Everybody always asks me what the part number is. I can't remember, but it's like the FX3411. And we also use the Pixie. That white stuff you see on there is clear coat, so let me just remove it. Watch this. When you sand something clear, it turns opaque. See how that's coming off? Anyway, so we hand sanded this. Now we refined our sanding marks, machine sanding. And what that's going to do is this, not only does it flatten out the paint, but it's going to make buffing a lot faster and a lot easier. So the next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and fire up some wool pads on rotary polishers, grab some Dr. Beasley's core cut, and pull our sanding marks out. So stay tuned. This, my friends, is a wool pad on a rotary polisher. That is a buff and shine pad, and I think that one's right about an 8-inch, and that's called American style buffing. So we sanded this by hand once, machine sanded, then we cut out all of our sanding marks using a wool pad on a rotary polisher. Come down the sill panel here a little bit. It's already looking freaking amazing. And just a little product plug here, we're using the Dr. Beasley's Core Cut. This is a very unique abrasive technology. What makes it unique besides the abrasives being microspheres, look at the reflection now of Dr. Beasley's in the hood there. But the abrasives, the carrying agent's called nanogel. Instead of like most products, almost every other product on the market uses some kind of mineral oil or petroleum distillate. Ours uses nanogel. So when you're done with the final step, you can go right to the coating. You don't have to do a panel wipe. Anyway, interesting stuff. Okay, so stay tuned. We're gonna hit this with orbitals next, and I'll come back and make one more video before we take off for the night. And then of course, I'll finish this all by myself. Okay, so I just finished my side. I have the owner of this car down here, but let me just recap what we did. We hand sanded, then we machine sanded. We cut out our sanding marks, wool pad rotary using Core Cut. Then we switched over to NSP 150 and polished. And then we switched over to NSP 45 and did a finish polish with the Rupes Bigfoot 15. Let's take a look at the results here. Oh, isn't that pretty? There's the owner learning how to sand and buff his own car. What do you think, James?
Man, this is awesome.
Go ahead and grab a towel and wipe off and then, inspect your work. We want to make sure it's completely defect-free. So this is the first time you've ever sanded and buffed, huh?
Absolutely, and it's going to be the last time.
It's a lot of work, but it's
a lot of work. And
this is an easy panel, except for having to get up here on our work platforms to reach the roof and work safely. But yeah, to me, that we removed the orange pill. We've increased the DOI. It really looks amazing. Now all I got to do is the whole car.
awesome.
You trust me to do the rest?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Hey.
I want you to do the rest. I'm done.
Okay. And if you're watching this, remember I'm going to do a live broadcast, and I will go through each one of the steps we did back here on the trunk lid and show you the whole process. Got a lot of dust bunnies back here, but the whole goal here is just to remove the orange pill and get this paint flat so you get what's called a true show car finish, and you maximize the DOI. DOI stands for distinction of image. Okay, cool.